Thanks for tuning into Backyard Broadheads. We're going to go over how to cock the Ravin R29. I'm also going to cover a few things that you don't want to do in this process. You're going to be using your handle, which has a slot in it. It goes onto this post that has a bar in it, so this slot goes over the bar. When you're pushing the release button in the back, you do not push this button in, you're pushing it with an upward motion. And you're going to need your Ravin arrow. So the first thing you're going to do is take your handle and put it on that bar. Then you're going to have to apply a decent amount of cranking pressure to release the tension in the mechanism. So crank that some. Now you're going to take your button and you're going to push it up. Now you're going to take your handle, come back about one turn, so all the tension in there is gone now. And you're going to now let go of your button. When you let go of that button, that takes that post and it locks it into place. So now you can look in there to see how far you need to turn the handle to where it's going to be lined up to where the handle is going to pull right off. Now at this point I see a lot of people on YouTube, they take that handle and they set it down, but there's no reason to set that handle down. You don't want to get into the practice of setting it down while you're target shooting, then be in your tree stand, take your handle, set it down, because now you could possibly bump it off your tree stand onto the ground. So hold on to the handle. Now what you're going to do next, push your release button again. You can now grab your sled and slide it forward. Once I get it down to there, I just take my thumb on the back of the sled and you get a nice click when it clicks onto the string. It is possible to crank this silently, but I'm just going to go over normal cranking, normal cocking for this right now. So at this point, you're going to let go of that button in the back. Now you're going to take your handle, put it back on the post, and you're just going to start cranking. Now when it gets to the end, I watch the sled and I see when the sled stops, and the clicking's also going to stop. Now you're going to make sure you keep cranking a little bit until you feel the clutch in here slipping. So make sure you feel a little bit of slip in the clutch, that way you know you have put enough tension on it. Now you can take your handle, line it back up again where it needs to be, and take it off. So that is your cocking process. Next is loading the arrow. And this is another big thing that I see a lot of people doing, even where I purchased this, that you don't want to do. When you grab your arrow, and you're going to be doing this with the white vein down. I knock-tuned this arrow, so I'm going to have an orange vein down, but you're going to be doing it with the white vein down. When you grab your arrow, grab it towards the top, but don't grab it in front of the point. That way when you're putting it in there, if it did release, that point's not going to go through your hand. You want to grab it like this. So not down here and not over the top, just somewhere close to the top with your white vein down. And this part actually looks difficult, but it's actually pretty easy. I like to grab it nice and loosely, and you just get it down here, and there's a V down inside of there. I already have it lined up with a V. It's that quick and easy. Then you're just going to grab it, and you're going to put a little bit of pressure on it, and you're going to hear it click onto the string. Now you can just let that arrow go, and it drops into these two little white rollers right here. Now even if you take this upside down, like I can have it upside down, it's still against those white rollers. And if you did somehow, okay, so you bump it off of those white rollers, when you flip it back over, it falls right back onto them. So I mean, if you like, there, I'm holding that crossbow at 90 degrees, it's still on those white rollers. So if you have to, you're shooting like this, or you do have to end up shooting like this at a short distance, that probably won't affect your accuracy enough for hunting a deer, but that arrow doesn't move around, which is very nice. At this point, you are ready to shoot the crossbow. If you push that safety, it can make a little bit of click if you push it like as fast as you can. But if you just grab it and push it down, there's no noise at all. At that point, as long as you know you have a good target and you know what's beyond your target, you're ready to aim and lightly squeeze that trigger. Before you shoot this for the first time, I want you to know that that trigger is extremely light. So it's probably going to go off before you expect it to. It's a very nice trigger. I'm not going to go over decocking this crossbow. It's not something that I like to do. I'm going to tell you to go to Ravin's website and go to your owner's manual and be extremely careful when decocking it, because all the energy from the crossbow goes back into this handle. You want to have a good grip on the top part of the handle when you are decocking it. So you'll be decocking it, the crossbow kind of wants to move a little bit like this while you're doing it. So just be extremely careful. That is how I cock the Ravin R29. Please let me know if you have any questions, and please let me know what you'd like to see in future videos.